Hey, today I'm going to teach you my conversation barbell framework. It's probably the most important lesson on people skills or talking to people that I've ever learned. And I think about this every single day. So when I was in college, my mom read an article online about Warren Buffett. And Warren Buffett was like, yeah, I got my university degree, my MBA, whatever, but I don't put any of those things on my wall. I only put my Dale Carnegie training up on my wall. And you might know Dale Carnegie wrote the book, How to Influence and Influence People. There's also an organization that does his teaching. So after my first semester of college, my mom paid for me. It was pretty expensive for 3 days in New York City. Thanks, Mom. To learn these tactics, these strategies, and how to interact with people and be persuasive. I don't know if persuasive is the right word, but like remedial people skills, right? Nothing we learned in school, right? School, for whatever reason, just totally fails to teach this subject. And the most important thing I learned there was the importance of listening. But I know it sounds boring, but just why is listening so important? And then I'll tell you how you can, easily implement this without forgetting. Listening is so important because other people want to talk, right? People like feeling heard. They like speaking. And when you're listening, you're gathering data, right? When you're speaking, you're not learning. It can help to learn, but when you let the other person speak, you're one, becoming more likable, two, learning more, and three, you run the less of a risk of making a mistake, right? The more you open your mouth, the more chances you have of making mistakes. So when I have conversations, if you ever meet me in person, you might not notice this, but I try to do as little speaking as possible, which is hard for me because naturally I'm very extroverted. But ever since learning this about listening, how important listening is, I just remind myself, let the other person speak more. And how do you do that? The real easy way is just ask more questions, ask better questions, right? What are people interested in? Just find that out and ask questions about that, which usually is about themselves, their skills, their hobbies. So that's the easiest way to talk to strangers too, right? Just start asking them questions. Yeah, so that's really it. Write something down. Okay, last thing. So when you ask questions, this is something else I learned from Never Split the Difference. It's a really good book from Chris Voss, this FBI negotiator. Listen, really, really listen, actively listen. Then once they're finished talking, repeat it back to them. It's called mirroring. Mirror it back to them, maybe the last 3 words. So it's the last 3 words. And it sounds silly, but if you try it in real life, no one ever notices, right? I'm here every single day. I use this, and no one really notices. But it can also be the most important. It doesn't have to be the last 3 words. But so you just basically mirror them, or to make sure you really understand what they said, to make sure you really listen well. Another thing you can do is label them, which is also from Never Split the Distance. Say, it sounds like you mean this, right? It sounds like you're saying we should listen to people because it helps you collect more data about the other person, about the situation. It helps other people feel appreciated. It helps you be more likable. Is that about right? And then the person will say that yes or no. Then you keep going until you get to a that's right. Yeah, so that's really the conversation barbell framework, right? Barbell isn't one side's really heavy. Make the listening really heavy, make the speaking less heavy. It's the easiest way to become more likable, to sort of improve your people skills. So yeah, really recommend How to Influence and Influence People and Never Split the Difference. 2 excellent persuasion books. That's all. Peace.